Hey guys, it's Brandon Miniman from Pocketnow.com. WebOS is dead, or at least HP isn't going to be dealing with WebOS anymore. We might see it in the future, but that doesn't mean we can't review the HP Pre 3, the best WebOS smartphone ever, and it might be the last one too. So let's get to it. So this device was delayed, and it should have been released many months ago because it really doesn't measure up to what's out there right now. But it's still the best WebOS smartphone. It finally pushes the resolution beyond the WVGA that is found on the Pre 2 and the Pre Plus. And here it is. The HP Pre 3 got a larger screen, a faster processor, really upgraded it in every respect to be really the ultimate WebOS smartphone. Again, HP is killing WebOS, or at least passing it off to another company at some point. But this is really interesting. Let's move around the box and see what we have. So we've got the Pre 3 cubed smartphone, battery. This is the European version that you can get at clove.co.uk. It is, let's see if there's any specs on here. Doesn't look like it. So we can slide it out. Got some pretty cool packaging here. Need to cut through this, get a little pen, pull off the tape, and let us see the, I was going to say Palm Pre 3, but it's the HP Pre 3. So we're going to compare this to the Pre Plus and to the Pre 2 in a minute. Let's see if we get any goodies in the box. HP is here to help. Well, not for that much longer. See what we have down here. Standard charging stuff. We've got a UK charger in there because, again, this is a phone intended for Europe, specifically the UK. It's not going to work on networks here in the US, although there will probably be a version that will have, for example, AT&T bands and maybe eventually bands for T-Mobile. So let's slide that off, slide that off. Take a look at the Pre 3. So definitely a bigger device than previous generation Pre's because we've got the larger screen, the 800 by 480 resolution screen. We've got the biggest keyboard yet. This is really interesting to see. We've got to compare this to the family here. So let's zoom in a little bit and we'll pull out the Pre 2. One of the problems with WebOS devices is that they all look the same. It's just the same hardware. It was nice looking in 2009. It was okay in 2010. By the time 2011 came around, it's just old. And so if we slide this over and we put the Pre Plus over here, we still have a very similar design. They flattened off the front of the screen. You can see the sound absorption foam reflecting here. And then they released the Veer 4G on AT&T, trying to come out with a phone that really was inventing a segment that really didn't need to be invented. Small phones. No one really wants a small phone with a small screen. Sales of the Veer have been poor. Sales of the Pre Plus and the Pre were pretty poor. Sales of the Pre 2 were poor, and you can probably understand why WebOS is shifting hands to another company that can hopefully give it the attention that it deserves. So here we've got the Pre 3, again, high resolution screen, processor clocking in at over a gigahertz. We'll talk more about specs in a future video. Again, same kind of backing here, the same kind of design, the camera in the upper left corner. We've got the speaker on the bottom this time. The Pre 3 is definitely pretty slender. And again, it's got that very nice hardware keyboard, pretty clicky. Let's compare the size of the keyboard between these other devices. And as you can see, the Pre 3 has a keyboard that is probably significantly bigger than the Pre 2 and definitely bigger than the Veer. Let's turn it on and see what happens on the first boot. Well, actually, let's pop out the battery and check out what kind of battery it has. So if this lifts off, hopefully it does, and nothing's going to break. Okay, here we have the SIM card slot, battery, which is of size 1230 milliamp hours. Okay, we're going to pop that back in. Got to put a SIM card in there, but again, this is a European phone. It's not going to do 3G here in the US. That doesn't mean we can't turn it on. So for the first time, we're going to see WebOS in WVGA resolution instead of that kind of boring HVGA resolution. So we'll let it boot up. We'll come right back and tell you what we see. Well, it keeps shutting off, so I think it needs a good charge, and we'll definitely do that, and we'll come back and talk about WebOS on the Pre 3, the fastest WebOS phone yet, with the highest resolution screen. Should be kind of a cool device. Right now it's discounted for, well, relatively speaking, it's about $450 unlocked. You can get it clove.co.uk. Again, this is the end of the line as we know it for the HP WebOS devices, and it's probably going to turn out to be a pretty cool phone. We're looking for great performance, great battery life, and we'll have more on those things in upcoming videos. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thanks for watching. That's it for now.